G'day guys, JT from Revolution Magazine. Our latest issue has just dropped onto the newsstands, and today we're going to be doing a bit of an unboxing. So yeah, this issue I particularly wanted to put Conor Ferran on the cover. He's got so many new starts this season, obviously new team. He's been with Kona for like a decade before that. It comes out on Forbidden Bikes, which is kind of a bit of an unknown, and then obviously wins national champs, finally gets that sleeve. Super psyched on Conor. It's actually his third cover, it might be his fourth, I think it's his third cover. But yeah, super psyched to put him on page one and showcase his riding. Yeah, so this was his first cover back in 2001. It was a shot from Whistler. I think it was one of his first years on Kona. It was pretty dope. And then I think back in 2006 we had him on 2016. We had him on another. That was the second cover. This was one of my favorite covers actually. That was our interview shoot that we did back in 2016. That one was an absolute banger. It was a cane rat shot from South Australia. But yeah, but the latest cover shot, so yeah, like I was saying, I really want to have Conor on the cover. We had a few mock-ups done. A mock-up basically means, it's like previews, I guess. We pick different shots to see what's going to work with masthead and the cover line. And we had about 3 or 4 different shots, but none of them were quite working. Then the Loud World Cup round 1 was happening. Conor's team photographer sent us this particular shot over on, I think it was practice day 1. We got this shot in high res Saturday night our time, and by Sunday lunchtime the following day we literally uploaded to print. So it was super tight turnaround, and it was just awesome to see Conor on with a new team at Race World Cup. I think yeah, our head of design Phil Townsley did an absolutely fantastic job with this layout. Yeah, it's really sick way to kind of launch the new issue, I think. So yeah, going through, got some great ads in this mag. I personally really dig ads. This SRAM ad of Jack Moyer is really dope. It's so cool seeing global companies putting Aussie riders in the stream one, and obviously Sam Hill on Fox Race. That's another real cool piece I'm psyched to see. This is Layla. This is a girl that's just come onto a horizon. She's a 15-year-old girl out of Tasmania. Absolutely unbelievable talent. Just shreds so hard. It's kind of, she's hard to believe how good she is. And so we actually got greedy. We ran 2 shots of her. I couldn't decide which shot we wanted. We're on the introducing page down the back here as well. Yeah, we provided like a gallery of shots of her, and we just couldn't pick what. So we thought we'd give her content as well, just because she's such a shredder, and you know we love supporting female riders, and we think she's got such a fantastic future ahead of her. So pretty psyched to have her up there in the front. My Ed's letter this issue. I always make my Ed's letters, I guess not intentionally, but they always got a bit of a random kind of a rant going on, and this one was just about a bit about world events that are happening right now, and you know, wouldn't it be nice if we just have a bit of a break and just fucking go ride our bikes? But yes, that's a bit of tongue-in-cheek kind of. I think you'll like that read. Galleries, I always love the fact we can have a couple of gallery shots right at the front of the mag. This is an absolute banger of Brooke McDonald. Literally, maybe a couple of days before we went to print with this issue, his dream track edit came out. I know Remy Morton, Aussie, was a big part of building that track. Yeah, Red Bull obviously do huge things with Brooke, and the budget they give him to create content like this as an edit is phenomenal. And I think, yeah, if you haven't checked that already, definitely jump on there and check it out. Then yeah, to support his cover, we've got an exclusive interview with Conor. Chats about the new team, transitioning off Kona after being there for so many years, and then obviously launching with a national champs win. So really good read there. He's always fantastic to interview. He's really candid, he doesn't hold back. Yeah, just a great human being, man. Conor's an absolute legend, we love him. And then yeah, we did a piece on his bike, the Forbidden. It's a pretty unusual design. And so yeah, Ryan from Canberra took the reins on this piece, and it really detailed, explains the whole thought process behind the bike, how it works. Ryan's actually ridden it himself. It's a really cool, one of the most kind of unique bikes on the market right now. National champs, we don't do a ton of race coverage in the mag, but yeah, Medina, Simon French down there, and these crew just do such a fantastic job. And this year's event was awesome. Obviously 2022 is a real celebration of getting events back in live with lockdowns hopefully all over for the time being. Everyone's obviously really psyched, so it's great having that event coverage in there. Shana Hearn's just gone to YT Global with support of Pushies online here in Australia. Really psyched for her. So we've got a great little propaganda piece with her as well, chatting about that new kind of chapter in her career. Really psyched what she's doing. Jack Moyer, I love having Jacko in the mag every issue, and this issue we've done something pretty cool. We've got his 8 golden tips for enduro racing. Yeah, his personality that comes screaming through the words there is something we really love. Obviously got heaps of new product that's just come out, lots of showcases. Pro Bike Check, this Baxter Manuel's new bike. He's part of the new Aussie side of the team down here with Canyon. My boy Bryn Atkinson, pretty much a brother to me. Always love to have him in the mag, and yeah, he's just coming back from pretty horrific injury. So yeah, this is our masterclass. It's basically how to carve a corner like pretty much only he can do. He's got some great tips in there as well. And so yeah, so I think there's definitely gonna be some bits and pieces we all pull out and how to shred and rip a bit harder. But yeah, no, I always love having Bryn in the mag. Etnies SPD, how dope is it to see Etnies making skate style SPD shoes? Those shoes actually rock. I've ridden these myself, so we had to include them. Now, one of the things this issue that we've got quite a lot of female specific content. We absolutely love our female readership. It makes up a bit over 20% of our overall readership, so a really large chunk of the mag. And yeah, the growing scene of female freeride, but also just trail riders, it's epic. You know, you only go any trail spot around Australia on any given day and you're gonna see tons of females out like jigs, just riding bikes and really shredding. So yeah, we love to showcase that every issue, and this issue got some great content from there. This is Trek Australia. They put a lot of support behind this event. First ever female progression camp. So yeah, Haz was a huge part of that as well, Aussie rider on Rebel. So yeah, psyched to have that coverage in there. It's a really good read. I want to see plenty more of those style events. And then following on, Defem is a female specific weekend that Falls Creek have been running for a few years now. It's got a return this year after a bit of a stowaway with COVID. But yeah, so we've got great coverage from there. Yeah, it was a really good event. I think, yeah, we want to see plenty more of those things happen too. Now this bike is epic. Flight Attendant, we finally got our hands on RockShox's latest AXS range of the suspension. Blake has been riding this bike for a couple of weeks now, so we've got his first impressions, including a massive off he had, but the bike and all the parts held up perfectly. But yeah, so our first impressions of AXS, Flight Attendant, RockShox, amazing. Wish I would get the right myself. Yeah, plenty of new gear. Baxter's column. Now, obviously we've got a few regular columns in the mag that you'll see every issue. Baxter's Diaries of a Professional Trail Fairy is one of the most popular. We get tons of emails and tons of comments about Baxter's article. In this one, he's actually gone and answered some Q&A from readers around Australia. But yeah, his style of riding is awesome. We really love it, and obviously he's just an amazing rider and trail builder. Really adds a unique angle to the mag that we absolutely love. And Anka Martin, she is amazing. Sven Martin's other half, she's just the most beautiful soul. Her words are always super unique and add a fabric to the mag that is really unique and we absolutely love. Yeah, some underground racing from South Australia. This is a cool article that Darren Mallard put together. Then we launched into Evolution. Obviously, Evolution is our, Australia's hub of mountain bike specific content. It's huge for us. Then we get on any other part of the magazine, tons and tons of emails and question answers. People absolutely love what Evo's doing. So it's a part of the mag we always love to showcase as much as possible. I love this shot of Jared Graves ripping on his Yeti E machine. He's obviously moved to a new role with Yeti as a company. Jed Milden, the New Zealand sort of daredevil, part of the Nitro Circus over here at the moment. He's getting set with the support of Bosch tools to go for the world long jump record. I think that's going down next month over in NZ. This is basically a bit of a preview of what's going to be going down. That guy's an absolute madman and we can't wait to see if he sends it into the history books shortly. Yeah, Giant's new Alloy Trans-X E Plus. Basically, all the goodness of the carbon bike, but a better price point. Yeah, these bikes are super. We've actually got the EX1 on review right now. So yeah, look forward to checking that out next issue. Blake's on that one. Transition, one of our absolute favorite brands. The bikes rip. I know a bunch, myself and a couple of our boys own them in our own bikes. But yeah, they finally hit the e-bike market with a repeater. So we've got the kind of an overview of the bike here, and then we've got some exclusive Q&A with the crew directly from Transition about the bike. There's we really scratched the surface and got some epic insight from those guys. Those guys are always such personalities to interview. Really, really unique the way they run their company, but just how epic they are at shredding as well. That really comes through, like that whole by riders, for riders. Yeah, I don't think probably anyone at any company shred quite as hard as Transition. And then we head to New Zealand. This is an awesome bike park. It's called Bike of Glenduhu. I probably always get that wrong when I say it. But basically it's a bike park that's focused on e-bike, and all of the bikes are powered via solar. On top of the entire hub of the place, there's solar panels, and all the bikes get charged that way. They're exclusive to Bosch. I think they do a bunch with Bosch over there. The Bosch E-Bikes are obviously ripping. This is an amazing article that got better. The imagery is sensational. Just makes me want to basically jump on a plane to New Zealand. Ride my e-bike. Yeah, absolutely love that article. It's one you definitely don't want to miss. This is an interesting, like, one of the things with the e-bike side of the mag rather than Revo is that we do a lot more how-tos and maintenance pieces. And this article is one of how to not kill your e-bike. Obviously, by accident, there's a lot of ways you can probably be harming your e-bike in between rides and during rides. Little things you probably maybe didn't realize. So this article, Darren Mallard, it's put together. It's really, really cool. There's heaps of little tips and pieces in there that I learned myself, which I thought was really cool. Jerome Clements, this is a bike that when these photos are taken didn't exist. It was a prototype. Well, it's now production. But yeah, this is his latest epic adventure through the Alps. That one's a bit of photo epic that's amazing. I always love having Jerome's work in the magazine. And then on the e-bike reviews, we've got the Rocky Mountain Altitude Power Play. I think this is the 4th generation of the Power Play, the Altitude. Scott's been riding it for the last couple of months, and he's got a really in-depth trail notes about how this bike handled and performed. Really unique power system on this thing. And yeah, the latest generation from Rocky Mountain e-bikes is super impressive. A lot of insight in this article. It's definitely one you want to cap. And then this article. This is an interesting one. This is an article that's actually been in the works for about 2 years. It's basically an overview of all the different roles of how to make a buck in mountain biking, in the bike industry. So from being a pro rider, to working in a bike shop, to being a CEO of a distributor, we went and profiled as many job roles and career paths in the bike industry as we could. When I first came up with the concept for this article, it was literally, ironically, just as COVID was kicking in, lockdowns were happening, we all thought we were going to be out of a job. The industry almost ground to a halt for about a week there. And so obviously the timing of putting together an article like this wasn't appropriate, and we basically shelved it. Obviously the industry then came roaring back to life, bigger, much bigger and much harder than it ever has before. And so yeah, 2 years down the track, there's finally sort of the time to let this one out. Worked on it for several months, just quietly chipping away. And yeah, we ended up doing, I think it was about 30 different roles. So it ended up being a lot of work. Interviewed over 100 different people from different roles, kind of to find out kind of a lot of the Q&A. We basically talk about the 4 main things, which is you know, the response, like the daily duties of each role, qualifications, experience needed, perks of the role, and then kind of the taboo to talk about for anyone is how much money you earn. But I think it's really interesting. It's obviously talk about, you know, salary or hourly rate. So for all those different roles, from World Cup mechanic through to, you know, a podcaster, and everything in between, a race promoter, trail builder. This is a really cool article. I'm really proud of how this one turned out, actually. And then extension, one of the most popular parts of the mag is our brew reviews, which we have up in the news section, which obviously Robert Dalleish, one of a close friend of mine, takes the reign and reviews different beers from around the country each issue. So we wanted to kind of extend the format of that as a feature article, and basically showcase a couple of different breweries from around Australia that have a deeper connection to mountain biking, where basically that DNA of mountain bikes kind of flows into the beer taps. And so yeah, we previewed Mountain Culture up in Blue Mountains, which is where Revo's from, Bridge Road Brewery, obviously Beechworth in the Ride High Country area of Victoria, and then we've got Little Rivers, which is one of our absolute favourite breweries to stop by every time we head into Derby. It's just on the Ray there. Their beers are awesome, and yeah, all 3 of those breweries are really heavily involved in mountain biking, really supportive of the scene, and so this is a real showcase of what they're up to. And yeah, we've got some great insight in that article there. We've got some great bike reviews this issue. This is the Trance Advanced 2.9 Pro. Amazing little bike. Basically, the trance of jack of all trades. This thing is super, super capable. But the really cool thing about the one model is the Fox Live Valve that this bike comes equipped with. That system is phenomenal. We spent a ton of time chipping into it, and Blake's wrap-up review of this bike is one you definitely don't want to miss. And we've also got the new Canyon Torque. This bike only just came out. We were lucky to get our hands on it before the launch. And Scott really dug his teeth in deep. He's been riding this bike for the last few months. We've done a few road trips with this bike, down Threadbow trips. So yeah, he's gone deep with his review there. It's a really good one. And then we've got some great products. Shingleback off-road, obviously. This is the latest boost rack with the gas strut. It's definitely one of probably the best vertical bike rack on the market right now for sure. The new AM9 shoe from Shimano SPD at the finest, new Time Speciality 12 pedals. These guys are super impressive. SRAM required time last year, I think. And yeah, we're starting to see some big things coming from those guys. Really, really impressive SPD shoes. And Yakima Road Shower. This thing, when we first asked if we wanted to have a water unit on the roof, we weren't too sure what the point would be or why the hell we'd want that, but it turned out we had this bolt to the roof of our vehicle. We did a road trip, and how versatile it is having 26 litres of pressurised water on your roof as a hose or as a shower. This thing is super handy, and we end up using it like literally several times a day. An amazing bit of kit, real surprise piece, the road shower from Yakima. And then, like I said at the start, introducing this issue, we've got Layla Shaman from Tassie, absolute phenomenal talent, and just such a little sweetheart of a girl too. The way she talks about her interests and passions is really cool. That's a great article, and yeah, we're psyched to have her rounding out the mag. So yeah, that's the latest issue 64. It's available Australia-wide and New Zealand-wide right now.